This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome. No, this is not the Quantum Zone, although me and Matt Kona are here. No, actually, what this is episode 1. We're going to be doing a miniseries on the Capes and Lunatics with the Captain Mar-Vell movie coming. We figured everyone would like a refresher on all the Captain Marvels, so me and all my co-hosts are going to take turns. So yes, tonight, episode 1, we're going to be talking the original Mar-Vell, Captain Mar-Vell, Mar-Vell. Say that 3 times fast. Hey, like I said, it's me, and this time it's Matt.
Yeah, I'm here.
From the Quantum Zone, no stranger to the cosmic stuff.
Oh. Would this be the Nega Zone? Because he has Nega bands instead of Quantum bands?
Nice. Hey, him and Rick Jones used to swap out in the negative zone.
True.
So, we discussed it real quickly before we started. So, what did you know about when did you first become aware of Captain Mar-Vell?
Well, when did I become cosmically aware of him?
Oh, nice.
Well, I kind of know. It was way before I started collecting comics, and I happen to remember an issue of Silver Surfer that I picked back up again. I reclaimed it. It's Silver Surfer 63.
Ooh.
Down amongst the dead. So he is fighting us side by side, the dead Captain Mar-Vell. And so this is what he's doing in his afterlife. Just cutting right to the chase. He's dead. He's been dead a while. And but I remember not knowing who he was. I thought Captain Mar-Vell was kind of a generic name. It was weird because this is Marvel Comics. And then I remember either seeing or hearing that there was another Captain Mar-Vell in DC, and it was just very confusing. So I didn't really delve too deep in. I attest that he was an old 70s or 80s character that was cool back then, but I never got into. And I liked Silver Surfer, and he's there, and he just stays down amongst the dead, I guess. And Silver Surfer goes on his merry way. This is around the Infinity Gauntlet time, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
The early 60s of Silver Surfer from 92. So that was when I first became aware of him. And then from reading Quasar, you get a understanding that he was sort of a protector of the universe before Wendell Vaughn was anointed that. And that's about it. I mean, I like I said, I picked up some random ones, and there's another giant-sized Avengers annual where he is also dead. So I've read a lot of dead Captain Mar-Vell. This is maybe the only. I got a Marvel Spotlight number 8 from 1980. He's alive in that, and then I read the graphic novel The Death of Captain Mar-Vell, because I heard it was really good, and I heard it was very emotional, and so I picked that up digitally, and I enjoyed that, and it's kind of good for someone like me, or someone who's listening to this that is not that aware of Captain Mar-Vell, because it starts off with him talking into a tape recorder, essentially, about his autobiography of his life. Like, he knows something's up, and something's been up for a while, and he's not going to be around for much longer.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of tells his tale, and there's stories within that too.
Oh, we'll get to that, Death, because there's actually a moment in his series. But you were saying, he's from the 70s and 80s. Would it surprise you to know it's been longer than that?
No, I wouldn't. 60s?
I picked up a Captain Mar-Vell 14, like however many years ago. Not in the best of shape, but I mean, it's more just like a reading copy.
Yeah.
So number 14 was from has a date of 1969.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure. I think his like original appearance was like 68, maybe.
Yeah.
So I mean, the name Captain Marvel in Marvel Comics is, changed hands a couple times, but it's been around for about 50 years. So
yeah, no kidding.
Almost 50.
Wow.
By the time that movie hits, it's going to be 50 years.
50 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, but he's wearing his Kree military uniform because he was originally a Kree soldier who came to Earth with a small group. They were going to, I guess, study the Earth and plan for an invasion, but Mar-Vell fell in love with the Earth so much, and I wonder if that has anything to do with him striking up a friendship with a
Una.
Oh, well, no, that's not Una. I don't believe that's because she was one of the Kree. Yes, this was a young Air Force officer in charge of security. I think of Cape Canaveral, a Miss Carol Danvers. Remember that name the next couple months? That will be coming back up.
Yes.
So she's been, even Carol Danvers, and even before her powers, has been around since at least 1969.
Yeah, it's 67. Marvel Superheroes number 12.
Oh, yeah.
Made his debut. No. December of 67. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Stan Lee, Gene Colan created him. He's been a Defender, an Avenger, and a Legion of the Unliving, more often than not.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I figured this was probably be one of the other Captain Marvels people might have had experience. I figured this, with Mar-Vell, this would be the one a lot of people might not have a lot of experience with, since I think his death was in the early 80s?
I think so, yeah. Early or mid 80s. I'll have to check the publication of it.
But yeah, he was a Kree soldier and, fought against his people. But then the Kree Supreme Intelligence bonded him to a young Earth teenager, Rick Jones, and they could swap out of they each had to take a turn in the negative zone, and
he got
quantum bands together.
Right. Yeah, he got stuck there in the negative zone, and poor Rick Jones just stumbles into this, and all of a sudden he's in this big scary dimension. But he just likes being a part of the team. He's been affiliated with Wonder Man and other the Hulk. So he's
Captain America, yeah.
Yeah. But this is probably the most in-depth when you're switching souls with someone or locations, and that's pretty nuts.
But our other co-host Charlie Esser was saying the one day, it's pretty funny that I don't know if somebody got the idea off somebody else, but Rick Jones swapping with Mar-Vell was kind of like Billy Batson transforming into another Captain Marvel or Shazam.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
So, yeah, Rick and Mar-Vell had a couple adventures until I got it in trade. The big,
oh, wow.
I don't know if this arc has a name. It's just, the trade is the life of Captain Mar-Vell, but it's when Mar-Vell is trying to fight off Thanos, and he meets someone Quantum Zone listeners may be familiar with, Eon.
Oh. There he is. Look at Eon back when he had young hair.
He gave him the job of protector of the universe that Quasar would later have. He didn't have the quantum bands to give him, but he gave him he did give him the job title, and he gave him a power upgrade, because until this point Mar-Vell had gray hair. Once he got the power upgrade, that's when he went blonde.
And he didn't have cosmic awareness. Did Eon give him that?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Eon's the one who gave him cosmic awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wonder if it was good or bad, because he really didn't give Quasar cosmic awareness.
Yeah. Eon, he's a finicky sensei. He's very like the Mr. Miyagi to Daniel-san. He'll give you some stuff to work with, but you must find it on your own and paint his fence.
But yes, then because at the end of this same trade, there was Captain Marvel 34, where he fights Nitro, and a container of nerve gas gets broken open, and that's what eventually gives him his cancer. That eventually kills him.
Yep. And so he knows that moment. He talks about that in the death of Captain Marvel.
Yep, sealing the container.
Yeah. So does that just end? That issue ends with him?
That one ends. It's kind of weird because the next one, he's unconscious. He won't wake up. And at this point, I guess him and Rick had like a time limit. Each one, like, eventually after, 3 hours or something, Mar-Vell would go back to the negative zone and Rick would come back to Earth. So Rick came back okay, and then he was like rushing Mar-Vell to the hospital. But meanwhile, when Mar-Vell's in the negative zone, an old Fantastic Four villain, Annihilus, was like attempting to like get the Mar-Vell and kill him and like try to figure out how they swapped into this dimension so he could invade. So Rick had this funky ability at this point. He figured out he could like move Captain Marvel's unconscious body and stuff awkwardly, but he could do it.
Yeah.
So then he ran to the hospital, and then when he got there, he swapped places with Mar-Vell so the doctors could help him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that intense because
yeah, but
just having read the death, just
one issue. But did you know when was this? June 1990. What if Volume 2, number 14? They had a big story. What if Captain Marvel had not died?
That I may have read. That may have been something because I couldn't get enough of the what ifs when I was collecting comic books at first.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's probably what my reaction was. But I don't know. What if he didn't die? I didn't even know who this guy was. What if?
So it basically comes down to Reed Richards and Doctor Strange like take him to this. They're like, okay, well you have this cancer, but like the negabands are holding it in check. But meanwhile, they're also keeping any cure from working. So if we take them off, you're going to die quicker. But if we don't take them off, it's just going to kill you slower because the negabands aren't letting the cure work. So they took him to this other dimension where time doesn't move. So they cured him there, brought him back, but whatever cure they gave him, I guess, started poisoning everyone else.
Oh, that's real Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I won't spoil it too much, but there's at least one Marvel hero in here who dies because of it.
Oh.
Eventually, the Silver Surfer has to like talk him down and defeat him, and it ends with Mar-Vell and his girlfriend having Doctor Strange banish them back to that same dimension where time doesn't move, but there's no one there, so he can't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Although she's there. Oh, they did give her some kind of inoculation where, it wouldn't affect her. So yeah, they were just in this dimension, I guess, forever.
Yeah, I mean that does affect her. Just the fact that she's. I mean, it's good that she's with her man, but
it's very weird because it's like
they got to start fighting at some point.
Well, it's like those Avengers issues we were just covering for Quantum Zone because like the dimension, there's nothing there, so they're just like standing in this white panel.
Oh man, yeah. Safe little inking job.
So eternity with like nothing.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough.
No Wi-Fi, no nothing.
Just, tell me about being a Kree. Well, I was convicted of treason, or Kreeson, but I'm a little,
For those of you not familiar with the Quantum Zone, this is the Punisher, the master of puns here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this story I was talking about, what is this? Captain Marvel, it's like 25 to 33, where Mar-Vell's fight. Yeah, Eon appoints Mar-Vell as like the protector of the universe to fight a guy some of you may have heard of called Thanos. But this is like pre-Infinity Gems or anything even, because in this issue he's like trying to use the Cosmic Cube.
Yeah, this is real early Thanos.
Yeah, because like he like tries to kill Mar-Vell, and like Mar-Vell's like half dead until he like karate chops the cube and breaks it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the big thing, and then eventually around issue 50, Mar-Vell and Rick are separated. So they both get out of the negative zone, and Mar-Vell's like, well, now what am I going to do with my life? So he tries to assume a secret identity, an identity he had used before he met Rick called Walter Loss, and that will come up in the Captain Marvel movie also.
Yeah, Dr. Walter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mar-Vell series ran for I think it's 62 issues, and then...
Yeah, did it go away and then come back? Or
I think it continued into, what was it, Marvel Premiere, or one of those books.
It was in a lot of Marvel Spotlights, I know.
Okay,
that.
maybe they would Spotlight.
They would kind of bounce back and forth with those.
Yeah, so he didn't have his own, after his own title went to just acing out Quasar by 2 issues.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel Spotlight, because it's in the letters page in the back, the last one, it says, because of the Marvel Spotlight.
Yeah.
And then, I guess it's one of the first trades is the death of Captain Mar-Vell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good little story.
And most of the Marvel heroes who were around at the time travel to, what was that, Titan, Saturn's moon, where he passes away.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it a little bit on the most recent episode of The Quantum Zone, because something reminded me of what we were talking about, but I figured I'd save it for this one. But, I guess everyone is surrounding him. Oh yeah, I think we were talking about whether Thanos was dead at this point or something.
Oh yeah.
And, he's turned into a statue in this, and that's one of the incidents that interrupts Mar-Vell telling his autobiography. Is Thanos' his cronies come to try to take the statue back. They think he's going to be back, and they fight Mar-Vell and Eros, and then eventually the statue wakes up as Mar-Vell is dying, but does it, or is it an interdimensional thing? Kind of happening self-conscious. So I think the trade gets to a real neat point where you're not sure if this is happening in real life or it's happening on a different cosmic plane, with Captain Marvel facing his greatest enemy again and dying in battle rather than in a hospital bed of this disease. And yeah, it kind of hits you.
So because Mar-Vell was Thanos' arch enemy. So I wonder if they're gonna that's how they're gonna set it up in the movies now. Since Carol Danvers is gonna be in the next Avengers movie, if they're gonna set her up as Thanos' big arch enemy.
Yeah, taking a page out or a little revenge for her predecessor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? And then skip ahead a couple decades. Did you ever read this, The Return? It's from 2007.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was right around the time of the first Civil War. It appeared thanks to a funky thing in the negative zone and time travel that Mar-Vell had returned.
Really?
From before he died. But then we roll in the Secret Invasion, and it turns out did you read Secret Invasion?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I read that one.
All right, there was this had been a big plan years in the making, retconning stuff, but the Skrulls had sent agents to Earth disguised as superheroes. The original Spider-Woman turned out to be the Skrull Queen or whatever, but
yeah,
they were so deep secret agents because all the telepaths and stuff, they were implanted with all these false memories so that they didn't even remember they were Skrulls until the time came.
So they were activated, or
yeah. So there was a 5-issue Captain Marvel miniseries, and he finds, because his memories are that he had been taken from the past before he died of the cancer, but it wasn't really him. It turns out he was one of the Skrulls.
Wow.
But for some reason, his programming was faulty. Even when the others woke up, he wasn't waking up. He found out he was a Skrull, and then eventually he just started fighting against them because he's well, I have all of Mar-Vell's memories. I'm basically Mar-Vell. This is what he would want, is me to stop these Skrulls.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, so it's called The Awakening?
Well...
No,
there was the return. There was that one special where they kind of set it up. It's like, oh look, he's back. But yeah, no, there was just a 5-issue Captain Marvel miniseries.
Okay.
Yeah, the one shot with like the blank cover was 2007. The miniseries was this next year? Yeah, 2008.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's even people like setting up a call around him, the Holla Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
Holla. But what I want to know is he and Captain Marvel. I mean, Carol Danvers. I mean, they fight in when he's dead in this Avengers 16 annual I have. Mm-hmm. But there's not a real personal connection between the two of them, is there? Is it just kind of another person is selected and it's
well, we'll get into this a little more when you and I do the episode 4, the Carol Danvers episode, where we already announced this, but Marvel writer Kelly Thompson said she will join us because she's going to be writing Carol's new series come January. But well, no, there was an attack, and there was this thing called the Psych Magnetron, and there's a big energy blast. And basically, the original story was that Carol, like the Psych Magnetron is funny. Like people can like it's almost like a wishing machine, but like some of its energy hit Mar-Vell and Carol, and like the whole theory since then has been like, it imprinted some of his DNA on her, so she was like half Kree now.
Oh, okay.
And that's how she got her powers to become Miss Marvel and then Captain Marvel. But yeah, like there's like the Life of Captain Marvel miniseries is out now, and it's not done yet, but it seems to me like maybe they're hinting around that maybe that isn't where she got all her Kree DNA. That maybe it looks like maybe now like her mother or something might have been Kree. Or
oh wow,
yeah.
There's a lot going on, yeah.
But yeah, she thought she had got all her powers and stuff from him, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my takeaways from the Captain Marvel, and then when I learned he was he predated Quasar, I mean, you compare the two, there's similarities in logo. I mean, Captain Marvel never wore a cape, which was, not every superhero wore a cape anyway, but with a name like Captain Marvel, I feel like that denotes a cape. It looks like it should have a cape on the blue part of his outfit. But he was a Kree warrior. He's kind of like the Kree Captain America, I guess, with Cosmic. Yeah. Because he's loyal, but if Captain America was born in Nazi Germany, he'd be like, no, something's wrong with this. I gotta turn against the country that I was born and fight the good fight. And so that was kind of like that in an interdimensional way. And he's definitely a lot bigger and buffer than Quasar. Probably a lot more confident. And the nega bands, they're different than quantum bands, right? I mean, I guess it depends on what you could use them for, but he's not creating giant fists and clapping that.
Yeah, I don't think they can create constructs. Like, I think they help him fly. I'm trying to remember. They might have boosted his strength, but I think besides that, all they could do is like fire energy blast. Yeah, I don't think they can make constructs or anything. Yeah, and one of his powers is he can absorb energy too, and then fire it back out the nega bands. Oh, yeah. And of course, it switched him and Rick Jones when they were bonded, by slamming them together. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, you can see the picture. There's Mar-Vell with the bands glowing, and look at those straps. Look at all those muscles, man. Yeah, man. That's like a more modern. I forget who drew that, but that's more modern art. But yeah, man. Oh yeah. Here, let me. Did you see that cover? This What If, man? Yeah, man. Look at that. Look at that 6-pack, man. Yeah. 8-pack. Well, I guess he was born, before he's a lifelong warrior. That's what they trained the Kree. Every time you fight one of the, he's a soldier. Kree, they're tough cookies. He was basically a Kree like Navy SEAL or whatever,
Yeah, so he's got that Kree work ethic, and with the technology and American gyms, I guess, and spent a little time with the Avengers too. I just finished the some big epic Avengers trade, and there's some big time crossover with some Captain Marvel books in that one too.
Oh yeah, and he was part of that Kree Skrull war that's so famous from the Avengers, and then that story I was telling you about, the whole Thanos thing where he meets Eon. The Avengers are in there too, so.
Yep.
Yeah, he's crossed paths with the Avengers,
the Defenders too. When they were having their battle, that's when it came up, I think, when they were having the Avengers, Defenders had this long arc back and forth, one issue each, and then there was a Captain Marvel thrown in there too.
And I never read it, but I think there's an issue with Defenders where they said I don't think they ever really met, but Mar-Vell and Quasar were in the same room, because I guess there was a big gathering or whatever.
Ah. Yeah, that's that was something that I wanted to ask about, because it's because I was in the Marvel Spotlight. I was reading the letters page, and so it wasn't just Captain Marvel that was featured in it, because there was a Star-Lord one 2 issues before, and then several different letters they're suggesting other people to feature in it, and people said Quasar, they wanted to read Quasar in the Marvel Spotlight.
Nice.
But I mean, we didn't know the deep backstory of Quasar. We didn't know he was attached to Eon yet, I think. But I was glad that it was a neat little random pickup that I just happened to pick up this random Marvel Spotlight 8, and there was some love. People wanted to read more Quasar based on not that many appearances by that point, right? I mean, he'd only been...
Yeah, what year was that?
This was 1980.
Oh,
I guess he was 70s, but he went away for a few years. And...
Quasar just appeared in what was it? Was in 78, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe people wanted to see him from the Spotlight or from the Marvel 2-in-1s, because they also wanted to see the Aquarian, Son of Satan, the Shroud, Alpha Flight, Wonder Man, Ant-Man, the Sons of the Tiger, and Alice Cooper. That was so good. They wanted to see rock star Alice Cooper have a Marvel issue too. But
Alice Cooper vs. Kiss.
Yeah, Quasar, Stingray, the Aquarian, Wolverine, Deathbird, Captain Ultra. So he's just mentioned there multiple times. So there was some talk about Quasar. So Quasar, Captain Marvel existing in the same plane, but never really interacting. Captain Marvel probably had better hair, especially on this corner block. The epic.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah, look at that hair. Oh yeah.
There was some issue. I can't remember which one I was reading. I think it was 70s, but he had the 70s sideburn.
Nice.
But yeah.
So if you were going to recommend people listening to this, if they were, say, going to buy one trade, would you say that they should go with the life of Captain Marvel or the death of Captain Marvel, somewhere in between? Or
I would say if you want to know a lot about him, I mean, the death is okay, but it's more the end. They might have reprinted it under a different name, but yeah, the life of Captain Marvel. Yeah, it's a famous arc by Jim Starlin. Yeah, it's classic. It's Mar-Vell and the Avengers versus Thanos, and that's when he meets Eon. Gets appointed protector of the universe, gets blonde hair, gets the cosmic awareness. Yeah, it's classic. It's one of the best stories for Mar-Vell. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that makes sense. You have Thanos. You got Eon, Avengers.
I said,
that should be good for any casual fan that wants to be familiar with the movie and Mar-Vell being in the movie. I mean, I don't know. Like
I said, it's the original. Whatever, there might be different trades of it, but yeah, it's the Captain Marvel original series, 25 through 33, yeah.
Yeah. But you can still, I see a lot of Captain Marvel in dollar bins, maybe not the 50-cent bins, because they're older, so look in your LCS, and they're around. Just because this is at a time where there was a lot of just one-offs, especially the Marvel Spotlight ones. Those are usually one story, that's it. This one in particular is kind of funny because it's interrupted by a classic Captain Marvel Twinkie ad or a Hostess cupcake thing. So he's got his own stuff going on, and then he's defending the Earth. Yeah, for Twinkies. Get a big delight.
Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if like all this Mar-Vell stuff was on sale digitally closer to when the movie comes out, along with the Carol Danvers stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Just because the name,
he's in the movie, kind of. Yeah, we'll have to see what version, but yeah.
Yeah, I read that. That was one thing that I read inadvertently on Wikipedia. Because I'll watch the trailer for a movie, but I'd like to go in. I don't read the cast list on IMDb. I like to be a little bit surprised, and I'm like, oh, I know that actor. I can visualize him. Okay. But you don't know how big the role is or what extent it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's like a red herring or something, too, because...
True.
If it's not really Mar-Vell and he's like either a Skrull or there was like an enemy of his, another Kree called Yon Rog, if that's like him or something.
Yeah. Possibilities.
But yeah, so... Anything else, or
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I didn't contribute that much to this.
Oh
but
no,
I'm learning.
No,
I'm learning. I'm intrigued enough to do some more research. I'd like to read the trade that you spoke of and be ready for it. Get some of the classic adventures, not just the end and all of his post-death adventures, which is most of my reading of him, I guess.
I was going to say, if nothing else, as a Quasar fan, you should read that arc just because, he has Eon and everything. And
yeah.
It's interesting to compare, like, his encounter with Eon compared to Quasar's from issue 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and Eon, Eon's another can of worms. He also looks like a can of worms.
No!
It's, how much other interaction has he had in the Marvel Universe aside from the Protectors of the Universe, Quasar and Captain Marvel? Like, I don't know if he pops up that randomly in the cosmic sphere. But
I am looking this up now because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, his first appearance was Captain Marvel 28. So yeah, this arc is Eon's first appearance.
Cool. So, all right, I'm intrigued enough to search it out.
Yeah, Captain Marvel 28 from September 1973.
Whew. Oh boy.
Notable aliases: He Who Waits.
He Who Waits, yeah. He Who Waits behind bookshelf in rented office spaces in the Baxter building.
So I guess we could wrap this up because I said, it's very. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, what's so great about Mar-Vell?" But I mean, he was a great character. But again, first appearance was in '67, then they killed him off in like the early '80s. So he really didn't have like a lot of time to shine,
Yeah.
Compared to some of these characters.
Yeah, true. Oh, and one thing that I noticed about the spotlight that I have, the issue takes place in the planet where time stood still.
Ooh.
So, maybe that's where he goes back with his girlfriend, but it's just him. It's very like the Collector saga, I guess. Some alien is collecting people on this planet, and they're just stuck in a moment, but I don't know. Just a side note. All right. I'll let you end it.
All right. That's fine. All right. Let's get out of here. So, everyone, send us your thoughts on Mar-Vell or any of the other Captain Marvels because we're going to be covering them for the next couple months. We're going to do monthly specials. So, next episode, join me and Charlie Esser from the Capes and Lunatics and Super Connectivity for episode 2 where we cover Monica Rambeau, the first human and the first woman to go by the name Captain Marvel.
Yeah. And maybe have people rank their Captain Marvel. Who are your tops? What's the order? How did you put them?
What's your favorite appearances of these characters? Yeah. And then me and Will will be doing Genus Fell, Son of Mar-Vell, for episode 3. And then, like I said, Matt will be back for episode 4, and we'll talk to Kelly Thompson about Carol Danvers.
Cool.
And then after that, we'll have a bonus 5th episode where Lilith Hellfire and I talk about Shazam, because he went by Captain Marvel also.
Okay, yeah, the technicality, right.
To prepare for that movie also, yes.
Yeah, jeez.
We're very blatant here, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so, again, send your thoughts to us, rank your Captain Marvels, your favorite moments, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, hit us up on Quantum Zone on Facebook, at Capes Lunatics, at Quantum Zone Pod on Twitter. You can find on Instagram, we're Capes and Lunatics and CL Sidekicks. And the voicemail for everything, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Tell us in your own voice. And Matt, where can people find you on the internet, specifically on YouTube? What's going on with you right now?
You can find me on YouTube, MATTKONA. I do a review show with my wife. We started October by reviewing a horror movie a month, and that's called Yale Matt Recap. That's her name, YAEL. Not like Yale the college, but similar letters, just in a different order. And we talk horror movies. We're going to do different stuff going forward, so depending on when you're listening to this, you could have a completely different type of episode. But you could go back and listen to all those. They're on iTunes, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Yale Matt Recap on all the social media. And this is a Quantum Zone thing that I do, but if you want to leave a podcast review for any Capes and Lunatics, and you mentioned that Matt gave you the offer, I will mail you a Quasar comic book with Spider-Man in it, a Marvel team-up. So, leave a review and then email Phil with your address.
It's like an older comic, too. What is that, like early 80s? So, come on, people.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Mar-Vell would want you to do it.
Yeah. Keep his memory alive.
So, that's right. So, like I said, join us next month for, me and Charlie talk about Monica Rambeau. Oh, I should, I was just struck by inspiration. I wonder if, who wrote her on, I think, didn't Roger Stern write her on Avengers The Longest? I'll have to look this up. See if I can find some of these writers who've written her. Oh, and then she was in the, what was it? Like, within the last year or two, they did a Ultimates book where Monica Rambeau was on team with like Black Panther and Marvel and a bunch of people.
Cool. I'm tuning in. I'm intrigued.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. So come on, people, send us your thoughts, voicemails, emails. Be a part of it. Tune in your cosmic awareness and tune in to us.